Okay, in this very quick video we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you, a couple of techniques that you might want to use to try and get yourself to exceeding and mastery. Here's my quiz so far. It's very similar to some of the things that you've made. I can select using data validation lists various options for the main meal and for the side orders too. And as I do this, you can see that what's happening is the corresponding calories, fat, saturated fat, fibre and salt options are appearing here. That's of course is a VLOOKUP formula. You can see the formula that I've used is in the top bar there. Down at the bottom we've got a sum function, or not a sum function in this case, sorry. I've just simply added up the three cells here just to give a total for each option: calories, fat, etc, etc. And finally up at the top here there's a section where someone can enter their name, and here we can choose gender, girl or boy. And the reason we've got that is because if we look now at what we're going to do, it's going to personalise the result for the user, because if we're going to tell the user what percentage of their daily calories they've had, it's going to be different for a boy as opposed to a girl, because they have different calorie amounts. Before we move on to that, just have a quick note at the bottom. I've relabeled these tabs. I've got my data here. This is where I've referred to for the VLOOKUP formulas. I've called this one quiz because this is the quiz, and sheet 1 is going to be the summary. So you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really have to be summary. If I just double click it though, and call it that for now. Okay, so I'm going to do this very roughly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time formatting it. That's going to be down to you to do. What I'm going to do before I get started, I'm just going to put in two amounts here. I'll put in 1800 and I'll put in 2200. Now this represents the recommended daily calorie amount. This one here is for the girls and this one for the boys. It's not very accurate. I've just pulled those figures out of thin air. You'll be able to get something a bit more accurate probably. So let me create here some sort of a summary for the person, and the first thing I'm going to do is create a graph. So I want to select this because it's the first data I want in the graph. I'm going to hold the control button down now on the keyboard. I'm going to select the corresponding calories. Holding control down, I'll now select the side order and the calories and the Diet Coke and the calories there as well. You don't have to do it for calories, you could do it for any one of these options, it's your choice. And I'm just going to now go insert pie, and I'm going to choose this simple one here. So here's my pie chart so far. Now I'm going to cut this, so I'm going to right mouse click and cut it. I'm going to come to my summary tab, I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste it in here. Use this option here, don't use this because it pastes it in as a picture and we can't do anything with it. Use this option here where it says use destination theme, and in it goes like so. Now I'm going to do some options here, so we'll use my chart tools. I'm going to go to layout, and on layout I'm going to come to data labels because I want some more detail on this chart. I'm going to put on numerical data labels to start with. You can choose your own. I'm going to go for best fit because it obviously gives me the best fit, and I'm also going to come back to data labels and go down to more, and on this option I'm going to select the category name because I want the category name next to each data label. If I click close, it's put it on there for me. And at this point, if you want, you can get rid of this legend. We don't really need it anymore. Just make it a bit bigger so it fits in a bit better. So this is the graph that's representative of the calories that came out of this meal. So you can see clearly the large fries was the biggest part of it. You can obviously improve on this by including a title. So if we select the graph again and come up to layout, and come to chart title, above the chart tends to work best, and you can then proceed to give it an appropriate title that you want. You can also format this graph as well. It's very easy. You can select the graph, right mouse click, and this little floating toolbar appears. We can change the font size, the font color. We can change the chart area as well, so I can give it a different color depending what I'm after, like so. It doesn't have to be a pie chart. You might want to experiment and have a go and see if you can create maybe some sort of a bar chart. Maybe you could compare two things together. Maybe you can include calories and fats on the same bar chart. It's totally your choice. Either way, the first stage towards providing this summary is to create some sort of a chart that summarises up what the users had. Put it onto a separate tab, and for the next video you'll see where this comes into play. Okay, so your first task, go and create some sort of a graph.